Welcome back to Solo Adventures. My name is Livi and I'm here once again with another game review. So this game, like all the other games I've reviewed so far, is an entrant in the 2020 BGG PnP Solitaire contest. So check out the links in the description below to see the links to this game and all of the other games in the contest. Today we are taking a look at the game Dungeon, which was made by designer Barney Skinner. Now, Dungeon is a minimalistic dungeon crawler that is so minimalistic that it doesn't have any vowels in its name. Now, Dungeon is a solo dungeon crawler in a minimalistic style and a very striking and unique art style. So, what do I think of Dungeon? Let's find out. Alright, so here we are. We're going to get set up for a new campaign of Dungeon. So first you can see I have the tracker put out like this. We begin every campaign with 20 gold, but I already went shopping to buy this battle axe, so currently we have no gold. Our current maximum health is 12, and normally we have 7 stamina cubes, but I upgraded mine to have 8. You can choose one upgrade of your choice when you begin a new campaign. So if you want, you could either flip one of these skill cards that have a more advanced version on the back. It gives you more options. Or you can get a stamina cube like I did. Or you can gain 2 mana cubes, which will help you do magic actions. You can gain a focus cube. Or you can increase your maximum health by 2. So here we have this setup. Then we're going to look at our mission card, look at our quest. So this game is a campaign game, and you go through different adventures that are kind of branching, a bit like a choose your own adventure story sometimes. But we'll just look at what this one requires. So basically we just need to kill a bear in order to be successful with this mission. To kill a bear in a specific room, I should say. So we can see that the circles represent wolves and the diamonds are bears, the squares are traps, and the stars are chests that have 10 gold in them. We can see that we have wolves and bears, so I took out the wolves and bears cards so I can see their stats here. And I have the tokens sorted for wolves and bears. Each token has a red and a beige version. I pair them up like this just to make it easier when I start putting them on the board. These are completely optional. If you want, you can use the default tokens that come with the game. These are just shapes like this, but I just happen to like the pictures a little bit better, so that's why I went with those. We shuffle up the behavior deck and we put that there, and then we set up the dungeon. We look here and it says the size of the dungeon is 3/2 plus objective. So first we have to find the objective. Where are you, objective? There's one. So there's 2 objectives. I'm just gonna pick one at random. And so it says 3/2. So that means the top of the deck is gonna have 3. And the bottom half will have 2 plus objectives. So here's objective plus 2. So we shuffle the top, and then we shuffle up the bottom until we don't know where the objective is. So the final objective could be anywhere from the third from the bottom, or it could be the very last one, we don't know. And then we have our dungeon deck. So we can orient this in any direction we want. I think I'm going to orient it like this. So first we have a look at the symbols here on this card, and we see that we have one square, and this adventure card tells us that the squares are traps. So here's a trap. It has triangles here, but we don't have any triangles that we're using in this adventure, so we can just ignore them. So here's me. And we're going to get started on our adventure then. So we then begin to go through the different phases. So first we do the bleeding phase, and we aren't bleeding, so we don't need to worry about that. And then we do the assignment phase. And this is when we can take our stamina or our mana to decide what actions we want to take. So I don't have anything to fight here, there's no monsters, and there's just a trap, but I'm going to ignore that. So I'm going to have to go in either one of these two directions. So when you reach a junction, you separate the deck into two piles, dealing from the bottom, and very important. So I know that there are 2 cards for this side and 3 cards for that side, so this side is shorter, maybe we'll try this one first. So here's my stamina. I can put it here on this multi-arrow icon, and this means that I can move 1 space for every one I have this on. And if I put it on these beige ones, that means that they'll come back at the end of the round. But if I put it on these red ones, that means that it will be exhausted for a round. It will eventually come back, but we won't have immediate use of it. So we're going to move 3 places. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I forgot. First you have to do the behavior phase. Since we don't have any monsters, we don't have to do that. So first it's bleeding, assignment, behavior, then adventure or action. So I took my actions. One is exhausted. These other 2 are spent. Then the monsters would take an action. And then it's the exploration phase. Since I'm not on one of these tiles, that means that I can't explore yet. And then it's the timer phase. So this starts at 9, and now it's at 8. When this timer ticks down to the bottom, that means that we lose one of our stamina cubes permanently for this mission. So we don't want to spend too much time because our hero is getting tired. So top of the round, bleeding, nope. Assignment, just gonna spend 1. Behavior, nope. Action, move. And then this gets reset. Exploration. Oh, this way. So I'm going to put it here. So on this tile, on this card, we can see we have 2 traps and 2 wolves, because these are circles, and it says here that the circles are wolves. So we take our little matching icon sets, and here's 1 wolf, number 22, and he has his matching red version, and this is the health tracker. And wolves have 4 health, as you can see on the card. And another wolf. Number 15. Also has 4 health. So that's the exploration phase, and then we have the timer phase, so that's ticking down. And we begin again. Bleeding, no one is bleeding. Assignment, okay, so I want to move to attack, probably. 1, 2, 3. I'd have to use up all of my movement to get to this guy, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to attack. I'm going to use my frenzy attack. This icon means that I can attack every creature within range, but there would be only 1 in this case, so I'll still just put it here though. And then I'll put a stamina on this little shield icon, which means that I have armor. I'm doing a little bit of defense. So this will help save me some damage later on. Alright, so I have 2 more of these. I think I'm going to inflict bleed. And I don't want to exhaust this one, so I just won't spend it. Then comes the behavior phase. Since we have monsters, we flip over the behavior card. So, it says here there are 4 different kinds of monsters, 4 different kinds of enemies. I should say. So there's the warrior types, the range types, the bestial types, and the magic types. So all of the monsters behave as their type dictates. So the wolves and the bears are bestial, so that means that they're going to move equal to their movement. They'll have -1 to their defense. They'll only have one range, but they will be able to push us back 3 spaces. Let's see what we're going to do. So now that I see this, I can kind of decide to plan differently if I want, but I'm going to stick with the plan. So, spend 1 stamina here, 2 stamina here, 3 stamina. This one was on red, so it's exhausted, but I moved. Then I am going to use 1 attack against 22, so now he only has 3 hit points. And I'm going to use rage attack against 22 again. So he has 2 points. And I use my bleed attack, so now he's bleeding. And we use our little bleed token here to show that. At the bleeding phase, he's going to lose health equal to his bleed tokens, and you can have a maximum of 3. And I'm just going to leave my defense here because this comes into use in the monster round. We finished the assignment phase, the behavior phase. Now I get to take my actions. Oh wait, no, I don't get to take my actions. I just took my actions. So now the monsters get to take their actions. So we can see their behavior here. They activate in order of lowest to highest. So 15 will go before 22. So it says 15 is going to move, and he has a speed of 3. So he'll come up right next to me. And he will attack. So it's gonna push me back 3 spaces though. So wolves have an attack of 1. I have a defense of 1. So when 15 attacks me, it doesn't actually damage me. But he does push me back 3, so I'm 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. Which is... would maybe be helpful if you would push me a little farther back, but I guess that's just how it goes. Then this guy will take his move action, and he will go 1, 2, 3. Attack me. I am out of defense, so I lose 1 health. And he will also push me back 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, if this trap was within range, when he pushes me, I would also have to land on the trap. So I'm a little dangerously close. I want to get away from that next round. After the monster action phase, we have exploration, and there's nothing to explore here. Oh, I did forget that every time you lay down a new card for the dungeon, that you do get to put down a loot card. So at the end, I can, when there's no monsters left, I can spend an exploration phase to loot. Alright, so we go to the bleeding phase. And number 22 is bleeding, so he takes 1 point of damage. Only has 1 left. Assignment phase. Going to move again. 1, 2, 3, maximum. And defend. And do my attacks. I didn't get to spend these because they're exhausted, but next turn I will. Next is the behavior phase, so let's find out what happens next. So, bestial creatures have +1 to their movement, have 1 range, and have +1 to attack, and that pierces. So that means that would ignore 1 armor. So I'm still gonna stick with the plan. I get to take my actions, so I can first refresh and then move 3. 1, 2, 3. And I will attack number 22. So number 22 is dead. And on his card you can see that I get 1 gold. So I now have 1 gold for defeating it. I'm out of move. I only have defense and another attack. I can't spend my attack again because nobody's in range. So I'm done. Number 15 gets to go now. He gets +1 to his movement if he wants it. But he doesn't need it. 1, 2, 3. He's going to attack me with +1 strength. And it's going to avoid my armor. So normally he would attack for 1, but now he'll be attacking for 2, and it will negate this armor here. So I will take 2 points of damage. Next we have the exploration phase. Can't do anything with that right now. And then the timer, down to 6. Bleeding, nope. Assignment. All right. I think I'm just going to smash it with all the strength I can muster. But I will defend. So 15 still has 4 hit points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be able to kill him this round. And I can also heal myself with my stamina, so I'm going to put this here, which would also give me 1 mana. And then this will allow me to heal myself 1. Then we see the behavior. Okay, so he'll move. He has +1 defense, +2 to his attack, and he pushes. But I don't have to worry about that because he will be dead. So now I get to take my actions. Attack 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this guy is toast. Once again, I get 1 gold. Monsters are not alive, so they don't get to take actions. I'm not at the edge of the map, so I cannot explore. So I will take down the timer. Oh, I forgot to heal myself last turn. That's exhausted. No one's bleeding. I want to move. Wow, I feel like I'm going really slow. But I can continue to heal myself. So move 1, 2, 3. Exhausted one of these. I would get a mana, but I guess I don't really have any use for it. And then heal 1. Would be the behavior phase, but there's no monsters. Then the monsters would take their actions, and then we explore. I can turn over this loot card. This means that it's not really loot, it's a trap. This is a trap, so I actually lose 2 health. Not great. Timer continues to tick down. Move. And heal. No monsters, we heal 1. This comes back at the start of the next turn. Exploration. See, we have this diamond shape here though, so that means that there's a bear. So bear. And bears have 8 health, oh my goodness. There's a trap. There's a wolf. And we can ignore this triangle. And the timer ticks down. No one's bleeding, what will we do? So I'm going to move 1. and attack. Need some defense because this guy does a lot of damage. He already has a plus, or a 2 attack. And I'll inflict bleed on this bear. So now we go into the behavior phase. We see here that during the monster phase, he will heal 1 hit point and he has +2 defense. So this will trigger later during the monster phase. But first we get to go. So we move 1. And we can refresh this. We do 1 attack against the bear. So he has 7 hit points. We would gain 1 mana. Guess might as well just move it over. And I'd also be able to heal myself, but that's exhausted. I attack. 6. And he has bleed. Now it's the monster's turn. So once again, going low to high. So bear gets to go first. Oh, I forgot that he has +2 defense. So he would have blocked 2 of my damage. I forgot. Okay, so bear gets to do his action. He would move according to his speed and then attack. He's already here, so there he goes. He attacks with 2 strength. I block 1, but I take 1 damage. And then wolf gets to go. So he can move 3. Attacks me for 1. I have no more armor. No exploration. And timer ticks down. Bleeding phase. Bear is bleeding, so he does lose 1 hit point. Now what will we do? Well, we're definitely going to attack, so we need all the defense here. I think I'm just going to swing as hard as I possibly can. Oh, wait, no. Definitely want to inflict another bleed because the effects do stack. So let's see the behavior. The monsters will be able to move 1 extra space, have range of 1, but their attack is -1, so that's good news for me. I will take my actions. So first I'm going to refresh these. I'm going to attack both of these at the same time with my battle axe. So wolf is down to 3 hit points, and bear has 1 armor, so he can ignore that, but I will give him another bleed. And then I can do 2 more damage. So I think I'm going to attack the bear with this. So another 2, and another 2. Monsters. Bear will attack me at -1, so it does just 1 damage, so I get to ignore it. Wolf attacks me with a strength of 1 -1, so it doesn't do any damage, and we're okay. Can't explore. Timer ticks down. Here comes bleeding. Bear has 2 tokens, so he loses 2 health. So he has 5 for 3 hit points. He and the wolf are both equally damaged. Assignment. Defend. Attack. See the behavior. Monsters have -1 defense, and they will cause me to bleed, so I have to kill them before they make me bleed. Each of them will be able to inflict the bleed status on me. So we'll take our actions. First we'll refresh. Knock out the bear. And he gives me 5 gold, so I'm up to 7. Just the wolf is left. I will attack the wolf and give him bleed. Now wolf will attack me, but it won't hurt because I have my armor. But I do begin to bleed. Get rid of the bear here. Exploration. Timer. We tick down to 0, so that means that now we have to permanently get rid of one of the stamina cubes for this mission. And we start again. Bleeding phase. Wolf is bleeding. He loses 1 hit point. He has 1 left. I'm bleeding. I lose a hit point. And I will just smack him. And also heal myself a little bit. And then move. Behavior. He'll move. He has -1 to his defense. Doesn't have any defense. And he'll do piercing, so he'll ignore that. But I'll be able to kill him before then. So, voila. 1 more gold. I get to heal. And when I heal in this case, I'm staunching the blood, so I don't actually heal, I just stop bleeding. You can remove 1 bleeding token for healing. And I have 3 move. One, two, three. No monsters, but we can explore. And woo! Look, there is our objective. So I'm just gonna move these out of the way. Just kind of scooch them back a bit. So what is on this card? We have 1 star, so that means we have a chest. And a square, which is a trap. And a diamond, which is a bear. And a circle, which is a wolf. So what we have here is kind of a weird situation because we have a bear right in the corner of the cage and then we have a trap right here. So did the bear make a trap, or maybe there's just like some hanging stalactites or something that will just fall on your head? I'm going to choose that it's some kind of a natural disaster that will happen when you pass through here. And after the exploration phase, timer ticks down. Bleeding, no. Assignment. I'll move 3. Defend and attack. Behavior. Movement +2, defense -2, and attack +1 and push. So I'm just going to go 3. 1, 2, 3. Attack the wolf. And then hang on to my defense. Monsters go next, so low number goes first. Bear has a normal movement of 2, and he gets an additional 2 this round. So he would go 1, 2, 3. And he moves through the trap because he has no choice and loses 1 health. Then he will attack me at +1. So I can ignore one of these because I have armor, but I will take another damage, and it pushes me. Back 1. Next, the wolf axe. He moves. He attacks at +1. So I take 2 damage, and it does a push. No exploration, and move the timer. No one's bleeding. I want to move 3. Frenzy attack. And defense. Behavior. Okay, so this snowflake, also known as the special snowflake, means that the monsters now take their special actions. So in this case, Wolf gets 2 range, and he gets to boost, which means that's +1 to his attack. And Bear now has +2 to his attack and pushes 2. So I'm still... Wolf takes damage. Now Bear attacks, and then Wolf attacks. Bear attacks at +2, but I have 1 armor, so I take only 1 damage. But I'm pushed back 2 spaces. Wolf attacks me with +1 attack. I'm out of armor, and so he does 2 damage. Only 2 hit points left. Okay. We don't explore. Timer ticks down. Begin again. No one's bleeding. And then assignment. Okay, so the wolf only has 2 hit points left. I definitely want to kill him. But if we're going to have any hope of surviving, we're also going to need to try to heal a little bit. Behavior. All of the behavior deck has been gone through, so now we have to shuffle it. Okay, monsters have +1 defense, +2 to attack and push. So, first we refresh. I attack the wolf twice. So he's gone. And I get 1 more gold. And I can heal. Bear moves. He attacks at 2, but I have armor, so it's just 1. Oh, wait, hang on. He normally attacks at 2, so this is +2, so that's 4 damage. So that means that, yeah, I would avoid 1, but I would still take 3 damage. And I died. Even if I had survived this round, I do not think I would have survived much longer, so that is the end of my adventurer. Sadly, we have ended in defeat. Alright, so dungeon. What do I think about this? First off, as always, we're going to get into the build. So I think the thing that most people will notice right away when they see the full color version of this game is how black it is. There is so much black, and I think from an artistic standpoint it's really nice. I really like it. It's definitely unusual for a print and play. But on the other hand, this is a lot of black. I feel like my printer was just weeping ink the whole time I was printing this. It began to get kind of like smudgy halfway through the printing process, almost as if my printer was saying like, no, I can't handle all this black. So much black. I think a lot of people are not going to print the color version just because of all of this black. It's, I guess, not really a true knock against the game, but it is something to take into consideration. Thankfully, the low ink version also looks really nice and really minimalistic, so I think it's kind of pretty in its own way. But as with all games, I always do the full color version when I can. This game takes a long time to build. I'm not going to lie to you. It took me, I think, 3 hours. I mean, it was one of the earlier games that I built, so I probably wasn't very good at it at this point. But yeah, with all the different cards, all the different sizes of cards, all of the different tokens, so many tokens, especially if you want to do the tokens that actually have the picture of the monster on them, it's a ton of tokens. And if you're like me, your hand is going to hurt so much if you cut it out on thick cardboard. How's the gameplay? I will confess, I have played this game multiple times and I keep losing. What you saw in the video was, I think, my 4th attempt, and I died again, very close to the end. I think that a lot of times I'm just not lucky and I have to take the longer path around, or maybe I'm just not planning properly. I don't know. I'm okay with it though, because I'm really enjoying the gameplay. I really think that deciding how you're going to spend your different stamina and mana and things like that is really creative. And being able to push yourself a little farther each round, but that means that you have a little bit less energy the round after, is super cool. So I love the exhaustion idea. I love the idea of the different like stamina and mana pools. I think it's neat that one can just flip the cards over to upgrade them, so that's really fun. Now, since I haven't been very successful at these quests, I haven't been able to really read ahead, and I haven't read ahead in the quest cards because I actually do want to play this game legitimately. I want to beat it legitimately and I don't want to spoil myself, so I've only read the first quest card. But you can really get a feeling for the world in such few words. This is something that I really appreciate, that it really works with the whole minimalist design philosophy, because a lot is conveyed in just a few words. So I'm going to read the setup quest text for the first quest. Bear hunt. A bear skin would even keep Death herself warm at night, the old man had said. But that's not why you're hunting one. Rumors say a bear dragged the queen's messenger into this cave, and he was carrying something of value. Kill the bear, find the messenger's remains, sell anything valuable back in town. Sounds like a plan. So we know a lot about the world and this character, relatively speaking, just from these 2 very short paragraphs. So, who is this old man who told us about a bear skin that would keep Death herself warm at night? And Death is a she, so in this world we can kind of tell a little bit about the theology or the beliefs of the people. It says, kill the bear, find the messenger's remains, sell anything valuable back in town. Sounds like a plan. Kind of like this casual, flippant sort of way of talking about this makes me think that maybe I'm kind of a roguish sort. I'm maybe not a paladin. I'm kind of a little bit selfish, maybe. That's just the feeling that I'm getting from the text here. I like the gameplay a lot. I find the way that it feels to be pretty unique. I haven't played anything that feels quite this way before. The whole resource allocation is wonderful and different. The only thing that I would say is a little bit tricky is the many phases and trying to remember what goes in what order. That can be a little bit to wrap your mind around, but if you have it like written down on a card or something that you can look at, you get used to it. It's not so bad, but I know that when I first started playing this game, I was doing some things out of order just because it seemed to make the most sense. Like, for example, I would first allocate my adventurer's actions, and then I would take the actions. And then I'd realize, wait, no, I can't do that. First I have to flip over the behavior card. So that took me a little bit of time, but I think you'll get used to it. This game feels kind of mysterious. I, want to find out... This game's got me intrigued. I'm definitely going to be coming back for more. It's a fun, different little dungeon crawler. I like the minimalistic AI system, having the behavior on the cards that you draw, I think is really wonderful because the enemies don't just behave the same every turn. They have different patterns, I guess, that they use. And then when you reach the end of the deck, you shuffle again, so you never know what's coming next. I think this game is hard, but I think that's a good thing. Because I like my solo games challenging. I definitely think it's better to be too hard than too easy. And I like the gameplay enough that even though I've lost a couple times, I still want to come back for more. So yeah, check out Dungeon. If you like dungeon crawlers, I think you will really appreciate this fun little game that, despite all of its many components, actually fits in a rather small space. I think the size is comparable to like one of the Tiny Epic games. In fact, I feel like if I tried to put all the components in like Tiny Epic Galaxies, it would probably fit. I haven't tested that theory though, so don't take my word for it. It's about 45 minutes to play, and that's perfect for me. It's just the solo gaming sweet spot. Not too long, not too short. You can just pick it up, and it's enough of a meaty experience to really feel like you're getting something out of it. But it's not so long that you basically have to spend your whole night doing it. I really like Dungeon. Please check it out. I'm excited to see what comes from this designer next. I love the style and design philosophy. I find it extremely refreshing. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what I do here, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.